Hey everyone, welcome back. I have something I think encouraging and just light and fun to talk about tonight. And grab your coffee. We're going to have a little chat. It's not going to be long, but I just wanted to connect with you. I've had many of you say you just like when we chat. So let's just chat tonight about creating your house into a home. Kind of a different topic. So what has made me think about this? Well, my job that I have has been over the last 2 years changing and evolving because of changes in 2020, which then, kind of overflowed into 21. And now 22 is, I would say, for where I work, we're normal. We're back to whatever you want to classify normal as, but we're back to normal. But because my position, that the way I do my job is normal, but it's become increasingly more intense. It's created a different way of life, and it has caused a lot of stress. And one of the things I found that, what was it on the Wizard of Oz? We click our heels, right? And 3 times, and there's no place like home. There's no place like home. And I have found that to be such a comfort in times of stress, that when I had a stressful day at work, or I've been out with some people and it's just been a little stressful, I can't wait to go home. I can't wait to go home. Now, I can't say I have always had that in my life. There have been times I've said to my husband, I don't want to go home. So I just have a few thoughts of how to create your house into a home. These are some of the things that to me create a home. And you can probably add many more to this, but this is just a few. Visual, smells, sounds, and feeling safe, or maybe an atmosphere, you might say. Those are the things to me that create a home. I want my husband, when he walks in the door, to know that he's home. I want my kids to know when they are here they can feel safe. And I want my kids that are married and out of the house to say, let's go to mom's house because it's home. I want them to always feel that draw to come back home for a visit. So what are the things that can change the visual, smells, sounds, and the feeling safe or the atmosphere in your home? So the house is a 2x4. You live in a 2x4, or you live in some type of a style of a home, a house. But creating it into a home is different. And I don't know where you're all coming from. Some of you might live in a mansion. Some of you might live in what you want to classify as a cardboard box. I'm not here to judge where you live or what type of place you live in. But no matter what you do, my husband has a phrase, and it's, an old-fashioned phrase, but he would always say when we would move, and we did a lot of moving in our early part of our marriage, and it wasn't always in the most luxurious places, and he'd say, wherever you hang your hat is home. And my husband always made a point of whatever we needed to do to create home, we are going to create it no matter where we lived. So if you're sitting here tonight and your house is not necessarily the prettiest home that you would say is, what you'd want, it's okay. It's okay. Things are temporary. Things always change. There's always hope for better. So how can you create a home from the house that you live in? Well, maybe it's the decorations. I've been in people's homes where they have nothing on the walls. Now, maybe that's their style, and maybe to them that feels like home. To me, it doesn't. I need things around me. I find comfort in the things that are in my home. So maybe look at the decor that you have in your home. Maybe you need to take some down because it's too cluttered and it's feeling overwhelming, or maybe you need to put a few things up because it's just feeling too bare. And what other things could be a visual? Maybe the curtains that you have. Maybe you have no curtains. Maybe you need to add curtains. Maybe you need to change your curtains. Maybe you need to do a different style. Even a centerpiece on the table. When you go to sit down and have your coffee in the morning and there's a pretty centerpiece on the table or something that's special to you, it makes a difference when you sit at your table and you're drinking your coffee. And even the dishes that you use. Maybe you have grandma's dishes, or maybe you only have one of grandma's teacups. Use it. Don't stick it in the cabinet. Use it. Those things create that moments that you have in your home. Things too that you can do. What could you do for the smells? Well, smells. I love walking into my house and going, oh, it smells so clean. There have been times where I have been so busy that couple of weeks have gone by, and we might have done a light straighten, but it hasn't been cleaned. And I'm like, I gotta get the scrub brush out. We're gonna do the floors. We're gonna clean this house. And then you sit back and, oh, you smell it. It smells clean. Maybe that's not what you need to do. Maybe you're home all the time and you're like, no, I'm home cleaning all the time. My house is spick and span. Well, maybe you need to light a candle or get some of those, what do you call those little, the wax melts that you can use, or maybe some essential oils. I don't know, something like that. Something to create a very beautiful smell in the home. That might be another idea. Even sounds. What can you do for sounds? Well, we have right over here, we just bought a indoor-outdoor water fountain. And my husband loves the sound of trickling water. And we put it up, and my husband counsels some different men. And one of the guys came over last week for his session, and he saw that and he said, oh, that's so peaceful. So something like that, the sound of running water, or just some music in the background. You know, there's all kinds of devices that you can put your music on, even on your phone. Maybe it's your favorite TV show, and sometimes when I'm doing the dishes, I just want to listen to one of my friends. I call them on YouTube. I want to listen to one of my friends, or if I have a really down day, my husband will say, honey, why don't you put on one of your friends? And it's just a way of, you know, him reminding me to put on something that makes me happy. And I have some movies that I've probably watched 1,000 times, and I probably will watch them 1,000 times again, but they make me happy. Or there's certain YouTube, I don't know if you saw earlier that screen has changed, but Moss Family TV. I find comfort in watching her shows. So she's somebody that I put on all the time. So why would we want to create our house into a home? Why would you even do that? I have single friends. Some are widowed, some are divorced, and some never married. Doesn't matter what the reason is. And I've had them say to me, oh, why bother doing my house? It's just me. I'm alone. Well, I totally disagree with that. Your house should be your home. Whether you're a family of one or more, you deserve to have home. Just because you're in your mind, well, I'm just single. No, you're not just single. Don't sell yourself short. You're an individual that lives in that home and should have a beautiful home to find when you walk in the door, that centerpiece is on the table, or that pretty teacup is there, or there's the smell of a candle or something fresh, essential oils, or smell of clean. There's decor on the walls that make you happy. You need to create an atmosphere for you to live in that home. One of the things that helped me decide on the name for my channel, At Home with Lynn Wilson, I couldn't think of a name, and I'm like, oh, you know, you go down all these lists of names. And my daughter-in-law actually said, Mom, you know everybody loves coming to your home. She said every time they walk in the door, they say, oh, I love being at home with Lynn. So hence, At Home with Lynn Wilson was created. And creating that atmosphere in your home, you know, the Bible talks about the gift of hospitality and being able to offer hospitality to others. Well, I think you need to start with yourself. Because if you create a nice atmosphere in your home for you and those that are in your home, even your pets need to feel safe. Your pets need to feel like they have a special dog bed, or, you know, a place to sleep where they can feel relaxed and at home. Dogs pick up on your attitudes and moods and things like that. So maybe it's you and your pup. Well, create a beautiful home for you two. And one of the things I feel that, for me, the atmosphere in the home that I want to be able to have all the time for myself, and I am married and I have children, but I need it for just Lynn as an individual, is I need to have peace in the home. I need to feel like it is a safe haven for me when I come here, and I needed to be able to put a smile on my face. You know, when I've had a stressful day at work and I walk in the house and it smells clean and there's a centerpiece on the table and maybe there's a candle burning that my husband put on, and there's a, you know, I can sit and I can look around the room and I remember when we got that picture, and that was at a garage sale, or that, oh, I got that when I was thrifting, or that was a gift from so and so, or that was grandma's such and such. And I can look around my house, and I find peace by just looking at the things in my home. Then there's times I'll look and I'll go, oh, I am so sick of that picture. I am so sick of that thing. Well, then it's time to get rid of it, because it's not creating that peaceful atmosphere that you want in your home. So, maybe tonight you need to click your heels and you need to say, there's no place like home. And maybe you need to sit down and maybe make a list, get a piece of paper and write down what I like about my home and what I don't like about my home. One quick story I remembered years ago when I went to my in-laws one day, and there was a family in need, and the kids needed to stay with my in-laws for like a week to 10 days, and they were staying there. And we had gone outside and gone for a walk and then came back. And I remember the one little girl, she was probably about somewhere between 8 and 10. She was pretty young. And she just looked around and she walked in the door, and we had just come back from a walk, and she sat on this big comfy chair and she looked around and she says, I love living here. I said, why is that? She said, it's so safe. And I thought to myself, that described my in-laws' home. When you walked in my in-laws' home, I don't care who you were, there was a sense of just peace and safety in that home. You just felt like everything was going to be okay. Now, I'm not saying that life will never happen and things in life are going to change. Absolutely. But when those things take over and life takes over and stress happens and changes happen, you need to have a safe haven to be able to come home to, where it is home, and you can say it is no place like my home, and you could be at home in your own home. Does that make sense? Hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to know from you, what do you do to create that home-like atmosphere in your house? Let me know that. I'd love to chat with you in those comments. We'll catch you all on the next video.